Glad to see you guys finally face to face. Actually, need more work on the professor, but I've got it working on now on starting maybe next semester. Run into this, be 4 weeks here, 4 weeks in Knoxville, just 1 day each week. It just, I think it'll work out better. It's difficult to recognize you and the microphone and all that. So it's quite a challenge, but I enjoy working with you. And it's interesting today. I had to go get a document out of the HR office and ran into one of my former students in the MBA program, and she got a full-time great job here, so it's just pay off. But I'm always happy to see my students' success. Also, somebody had texted me and said they couldn't find out how to submit their paper part in Canvas, and I was already on the road. And we drove down to Virginia, so. And so I will look. You should be able to submit it in Canvas. I will look and see, and in the morning or tomorrow afternoon before I can make it available if it's not. But you can email it to me if you want to. If you have it printed out tonight, you can just give it to me. Then you're done with. And I'll make sure. I'll try to make sure you can submit Canvas. You guys, I know, have had experience with Canvas. Sometimes it just does its own thing. So hopefully, but if something happens, I don't have the paper by Wednesday, I'll notify you. So I have to have the grades in this week. So, but I think just about everybody's finished their tests and their homework and should know how you've done. But if you haven't, please take the bar and get everything into me by Wednesday. So if there is a problem, I can contact you. So, without further delay, this is the fun part of the course. And I'm not going to ask for volunteers. I'm just going to take it in a line. That way I can keep up with it. So, and the way I'm going to do this, group one, go up there and get ready. And then once you have completed it, group two, go up and start getting yours ready. And group one that just finished, come right here to see me. And I'll give you your grade for this project. So you'll know what you got when you left here. Now, that's dependent on the grade won't change if you send in the paper. If you don't send in the paper, yours might drop. You still got to send in the paper. So group one, let's we're going to learn how to make living room chairs.
My name is Joe Boyd.
I'm Yannick Schulte.
I'm Dylan Mason. I'm Tim Bercelli.
And our product is the living room chair. So why we chose the product, it's an essential piece of furniture to all households. It supplies comfort and ease to the household, not just for the customer, but for their guests. Also, it's a style aspect. So if it's a fashion statement and decor to a room, we wanted to bring this all together. If there was a gap in the market, to bring this all together at an affordable price for everyone. So the design, you can see pretty basic wooden design. The dimensions are 73 centimeters high, 50 centimeters back, 50 centimeters wide, and 44 centimeters from the ground. The seat would be 50 by 50 with the curved edge for the style aspect. We also use a backrest and armrests for the comfort. Also, it's slightly leaned back at 100 degrees, just again for the comfort. We decided to use hickory as our material, as it's the most durable wood, and it also comes in various colours. We decided to leave it as it is, just with a natural wood finish, to keep it, again, the style aspect to our chair.
So the direct materials consist of the hickory wood. We found a supplier that provided per square feet. We estimated an amount of 7.16 square feet provided per chair, which results in a total cost of $20 and $20.69 for the hickory wood. Then we use nails to assemble the chair. Estimation of 50 nails per chair. Iron materials. We found a supplier that provided in boxes of 50 pounds, which is around 2,400 nails. So if we calculate it back to 15 nails, it would be $2.55. Then on to the indirect materials. So we have a saw, hammer, and sanding machine first. We buy 4 of each of them. The saws and the hammers are budgeted at $20 each, and the sanding machine at $65 each. Based on the dimensions of the sanding machine, we estimated how much sanding paper we need for constantly sanding the chair. We found a supplier that provides sanding paper in big rolls, and based on the dimension of the sanding machine, we were able to find the right amount of sanding paper. So the sanding paper itself is $37.80 per month, and then the saw, the hammer, and the sanding machine combined are $420, which can be used for 1 whole year.
Okay, now on to the production stages. We divided our production into 3 different stages. The first stage is the designing stage, where our chair is designed. It's a one-time thing only. And after we have designed our chair, we will manufacture a prototype, which is used as a reference for all our chairs that we manufacture. So it's a one-time thing only. After that, we have the manufacturing stage, and we divided that one into 3 parts as well, because the chair consists of 3 parts: the legs, the seat, and the back support. So, and those 3 things are manufactured separately, and after that, it will be put together. And the last step would be the finishing part, where we get rid of irregularities that we may find after checking the manufacturing stage. And if we want to, we could apply oil on the chair to make it more shiny and to make it a little bit more fashion.
Now we are talking about the labor requirements, as we had to decide how many hours we need per production run. One production run for is 1 chair. And we saw that as a major, you might need around 8 hours to 10 hours. And as a professional, chair constructor, you need around 4. So we said because we want to make a kind of a designer chair, which is very special, we said we would take 6 hours per production run to give ourselves some time, because every chair should be unique. The majority of the time would be used on the sanding, measuring, and the sawing. And therefore that we are 4 employees who work in our own garage, means that we, each of us take 1 part. One is responsible for the back seat, one for the feet, and one for the rest of it. And another one is constructing it at the end. So everyone takes 1.5 hours. And so we could finish per day 4 chairs in total. We are working 8 hours per day, 21 days per month, which give us the possibility to construct 112 chairs per month. And so far, we came to the cost and pricing, which result in our labor, material cost, the direct labor and the applied overhead, and combined it was about $68.30. And then we decided, okay, we want to sell a designer chair. And yeah, we tried to relate it to other designer chairs on the market. And we saw that they are very, very expensive. So we said like, we want to get a big margin on our products, especially that we cannot construct so many chairs per year. So we decided to put a margin on 200% on the unit costs, which let us come to the price of $204.9 for our so-called wood drone, which should make it a little bit more unique, as we call it. Yeah, now coming to the total profit per month before taxes, we calculated that we can make revenue of $16,905.62. And we want to use that mostly for to expand our company and our business at some certain point, and our product range. But we want to specialize on the wood factory and yeah, to grow in the future.
So for the next step, I would like to ask every one of you to stand up for me, please, if that is okay with you. So after hearing all that, you may think, why should I buy this chair? I've got the answer for you right here. So we call it wood drone, is an example of environmentally friendly furniture because we use very durable materials and it's very long lasting. Besides that, it upgrades every interior at your home, the office. So that's a very fashionable item that fits in nearly every scenery. And the good thing about the chair is that it holds the body in a natural comfort. So it's very ergonomical for your posture as well. And one special experience that our customer get from us is that consumers who are really into that product can have an insight in our manufacturing process by visiting our facilities, our garage. That's very nice. And I would like to thank you for listening. And I bet you're in a desperate need of sitting down now. So if you would like to purchase a chair, we have it right around that corner. If you want to place your order, feel free to do so.
Welcome everybody to our presentation. I'm Pim Janssens.
I'm Erik Schmutzer.
I'm Jan Frans. And I'm Quinten Karels.
And we are going to talk about the production of cotton dishcloths and why everybody here in this classroom should buy one.
Yeah, so first of all, we introduce our product, why we chose it and what it is. Then we share you a deeper look into the production, like which direct and indirect materials we use. And then we show you the financial numbers, like the cost and pricing effect, and then the break-even analysis. And then, we explain you why you should ditch the classic kitchen sponge. And at the end, we tell you our own experience.
So we chose the white cotton dishcloths. We just chose to use a simple 12 by 12 white cotton dishcloth. We chose to use cotton because this method employs significantly less plastic to produce. For example, a kitchen sponge, it's made out of plastic, which is not recyclable, which is not eco-friendly and therefore not sustainable. We chose for the cotton because it's less waste of materials, and then we can help to build a healthier planet, which is pretty important nowadays, I think. Furthermore, the colors were actually all the same price in bulk, but we chose to go for the color white. This allows for bleaching to remove both stains and, for example, contaminants, other bacteria. With kitchen sponges, many studies actually have shown that if you throw a kitchen sponge in the dishwasher or in the washing machine, the bacteria are still there and they contain like way more bacteria than the white cotton dishcloths. Furthermore, there were very simple materials which we used, which makes manufacturing actually really easy. It's very cheap. For example, we did a differential analysis on different products. For example, we looked at huge accessible providers like Amazon and Walmart, but also at local shops, for example, in Sevierville or close to Knoxville, which were actually sometimes also cheap for us. And because we don't have a big production in a month, it's actually also easy to look at the small providers, because if you have like a huge bulk you need, then obviously Amazon will be way better. But for us, since we have a small production, the local providers will provide for us perfectly.
Yes, so now it's the direct materials. Direct materials consist three parts. First one is the cotton toweling fabric. We would need 50 square yards, which cost $296. For the unit size, we would require 1 square foot, and that would be cost per unit of 0.66, so 60 cents. We also had the choice between different colors, but we choose the color white because it allows a good bleaching, and you can also see when the cotton is dirty, when the towel is dirty, you can just put it in the wash machine. And so if the customers have different wishes, you can also choose a different color as well. The second one are threads. So we are planning to purchase 14 cones of it. 14 cones are 42,000 yards, which would cost $97. For the unit size, we would require 90 yards, which would be 21 cents. And for the packaging, we chose recycled craft paper mailers because they are recycled, and that's how we want to demonstrate again how important a healthy environment and planet is for us. So the indirect materials, for that we would only need needles for the sewing machine. They can be purchased in packages of 10, which cost $3.99. Like Pim said already, here we compared many different big companies like Amazon and Walmart, and also smaller companies here locally. We choose a local, I think in Sevierville, called Joanne, because it was the cheapest one, even cheaper than Walmart. The needles have a lifespan of 5 hours. Monthly, we are requiring about 90 hours of sewing. So we think that 20 needles per month should be more than enough. Moreover, we also need small tools for working. Therefore, we have to buy a serger sewing machine, scissors, fabric cutters, and also a fabric cutting mat. Mainly, we found these things on Amazon because they were way cheaper than at the local stores. And also our labor requirements. So we think that 41.5 hours per production run is enough, and we could afford it because we are student athletes. We don't have so much time, so we have to look how much we can produce. The majority of the time will be used on sewing, approximately 30 hours. Then the cutting fabric would be 2 hours, the machine maintenance around 1.5 hours, and packaging would be 2 hours as well.
Now we will take a look at the financial numbers. We will start off with costs and pricing. A unit cost, we determined our unit cost with a process costing method. The numbers we used were the total product costs per production run, which are $515. We divided that with our units manufactured per production run, which are 255 products. So that's why we came up with a cost of $2.29. As paper mail contains cotton dishcloths, our package price will be $6.87, which is our unit cost for one package. The selling price is $8.99. We came up with that because it's 130% of our unit cost. Then we will talk about the break-even. With all those numbers in mind, we came up that break-even will be 48 products. So with 48 products, we will have no profit, no losses. Then our profit and loss, the revenue per month is estimated to $6,068.25. It's calculated by our monthly production, which are 225 products per production run. And with our tight schedule, as Eric said, we will have 3 production runs each month. Then this is multiplied by our selling price. Then, of course, we have our costs, which are our cost per package is $6.87. We also have to multiply that with our monthly production. And that number will come up to around $1,431 before tax, and after tax, which is 7% in the state Tennessee, our result in profit is $1,330.83. Then our gross margin will be 23.58%. With this profit, we want to put it again in our company to keep growing and become a bigger company in the future.
And then why you should ditch your sponge. I don't know if this question is related to everyone, because I think most people maybe have a dishwasher by now, but I see some poor students over there and there in the back who maybe still use a kitchen sponge. So I don't know who is still using a kitchen sponge to clean the dishes or maybe clean the kitchen. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's perfect. Well, after this slide, you will definitely ditch your kitchen sponges and definitely buy one of those nice dishcloths. The sponges actually harbor more bacteria than any other surface in your home. It contains like 250,000 more bacteria than just a simple cotton dishcloth. Furthermore, as I already mentioned, it's very difficult to clean kitchen sponges. Like many studies have shown, even if you throw it in the dishwasher, maybe throw like boiling water on it, it still doesn't help. The bacteria and contaminants are still there. It has a lifespan of only 4 to 6 weeks, even if it's cleaned and disinfected. Furthermore, it's definitely not environmentally friendly because it's made out of plastic, and the food residue makes sure that you cannot recycle it. Therefore, it contributes to a lot of waste. So, like if there are many bacteria in it, maybe you have it on your plates again, maybe it gets you fatigued. Bacteria can have many consequences, of course, to your personal health. So I don't know, maybe Ty, let's say we make it to the national championship. You just ditching your kitchen sponge will maybe make the difference between a first and a second place. Just think about that. You will be way healthier if you use cotton dishcloths. So I will provide you with one later on. Obviously, the cotton dishcloths can be washed with other laundry as well. As we said, it can be bleached to deeper cleaning, for stains removing and contaminants removing. Furthermore, less plastic, less waste of material. It helps to build for a healthier planet, which is nowadays, I think, a really big topic. So in this way, we try to stay sustainable, try to help as much as we can. Maybe it's on a small scale, but it's just the idea that's there and that can help building our brand image. If you buy that chair here around the corner, maybe we can make a good deal for some nice dishcloths with it as well. So maybe we can team up together, boys, to help providing for a healthier planet. And that's why you and everyone here, even if you use a dishwasher maybe already,
ditch your kitchen sponge and use the cotton dishcloths to clean your kitchen.
Yeah, and in the end, our experience from the project. So like teamwork makes the dream work. Everybody had this part of the project, and everybody like helped each other. So that was a big point, I think. And then time management is the key to success. Like Eric and Tim said, we are like student athletes, have like a busy schedule. So sometimes it was a little bit hard to find the right time for the meeting, but I think we did it well. And dividing tasks also grows responsibility. Everybody, like I said, had his own part in the project. And yeah, then as well, a big point, communication creates ideas. Yeah, the more often we spoke together, the more ideas were created. And yeah, the more we did, the more we learned. So I think it was a great project, and we learned a lot. I think that's it.
Questions for these gentlemen? Not, up here with booth 3. Hand sanitizer.
Hi, okay. My name is Sara Duarte.
I'm CJ and I don't have a voice today, so Sarah's going to be doing my part of the presentation.
We're going to forgive her for that.
I'm Aaron Bauer.
I'm Kenya.
I'm John Glenn.
Okay, so in 2020, we all experienced pandemic. We're still experiencing it, and it made us feel very unsafe. So one of the products that makes us feel more safer is hand sanitizer. And so we really wanted to see how much it costs to make hand sanitizer, because in May 2020, the 24-ounce of hand sanitizer cost $170. And the demand for it was so big that they were selling out. Like, it was really hard to get hand sanitizer for small businesses. And we also wanted to find a way how to make it more natural and better for our skin, because you know, people complain how the skin gets dry from all of these. So in order for us to find the raw materials, we start researching different brands of hand sanitizer. We look through the popular ones, Walmart, Walgreens, you know, all of these ones. We also look at the local ones, and we start like searching for the most essential like ingredients that we needed in order to make our cheaper and efficient. After that we found like the materials that we really needed, we wanted to add our like touch, you know, our essence. That this essence will help us to kind of use it different, like in different methods. Sorry. So in that moment that we knew the ingredients and everything, we started comparing like prices through all the different stores, and we found the cheapest per ounce in order to talk about the materials.
So we have direct materials. We have used 3 materials as direct materials. First one, we have aloe vera. So aloe vera is a medicinal plant. It acts as a moisturizer. So when you use that, it helps in moisturizing your skin. So we have purchased 670 fluid ounce of aloe vera. So per unit, we have used 0.67 ounce of it. So then next we have lemon juice. The reason why we use lemon juice is it contains vitamin C, which acts as an antioxidant. It helps in reducing skin damage and skin inflammation. So we have purchased 128 fluid ounce of it, and we have used 0.12 ounce of lemon juice per unit. The third one, we have isopropyl alcohol. So it acts as an antiseptic. So the main thing is it kills the microorganisms present in your skin. We have purchased 10 gallons of isopropyl alcohol, and we have used 1.33 ounce of alcohol per unit. So after that, we have the indirect materials. So for indirect materials, we have 50 ml of hand sanitizer bottles. So we have purchased thousands of it, 1,000 as the packet of 1,000. We use 1,000 per production run. Then we have labels. So we stick the labels on hand sanitizer bottle, so it makes a finished good. So we use 1,000 labels of it. The small tools and equipment we use. So there are 4 small tools and equipment we are used throughout the production run and the production of hand sanitizer. The first one is the printer. The reason why we use the printer is to print the labels. So when the product is, when we add the solution to the bottle, so to make it as a finished good, use the printer, print the label, and stick on it. Next, we have the funnel. So once we make the product is ready, we transfer the solution to the bottle using the funnel. Then we have the mixing bowl. So mixing all the materials, we use this bowl to make the solution. The last one we have disposable gloves. So the reason why we use the disposable gloves is whenever you use chemicals, it's safe to use gloves, otherwise you may get some skin irritation or it can cause some injury.
So for our process, first we have to plan what ingredients we're going to choose, and then our package and then labels. So we have to figure out what equipment we're using and what we need to get for that.
Then we had to take all the ingredients on 3 direct materials and use our mixing bowl and bottle and disposable gloves. Make sure we mixed our materials by using the correct amounts measured out. So we had our final hand sanitizer mixed into our large mixing bowls. So we have, after mixing, we have pouring. So the solution is there in a vessel, must mix well with all the quantity materials. So with the use of a funnel, we transfer and pour the solution into the 50 ml of hand sanitizer bottle.
For the labeling, so we wanted to choose a name that really stand out, and you go to the market and you go to the store and you say, oh, that one is the one that I want. Well, we choose that name. Then in the labeling, we also needed to print, take our time to design, and then stick it on the bottle in a right way, you know. And then for the selling, we wanted to choose a good target audience that will not make us cost more money by shipping or going somewhere else. So we choose the local community. So our idea while we were starting to grow this business was to go in churches, in schools, in close places that we could sell our product in a small production. And that way we could grow. And in a future, very far away, we can open a big company with a lot of shipping around the world.
So then we calculated costs for our products. We had direct materials, 3 direct materials, calculated the cost, figure out how much it would cost per unit. So it came out to around 20 cents for each direct material for each unit, for about 50 milliliters of hand sanitizer. Our direct material cost per production run each month would be about $209.89. And then the indirect materials, which were the hand sanitizer bottles and the labels, was actually a lot higher price, which is $544, because we wanted to get quality hand sanitizer bottles that people would want to buy and be able to use and would last and wouldn't leak or let our product out. Then for our other costs, we have our small tools and equipment. These would be more one-time costs that we had to purchase a printer, buy a funnel, mixing bowl, and disposable gloves. We have to have all these products in order to make our product and be able to distribute it and sell it to our customers. So in our production stage, our labor was very minimal. It's very simple to combine the ingredients and then just simply pour them into the bottles and label them. We had a very low labor cost of only about 3 hours for a production run, about $43.50. After calculating our overhead and direct and indirect materials, our total production cost for 1,000 was $1,015.88, which came out to $1.02 for each individual bottle. We would then sell the bottles at $2 per bottle, which is giving us 98 cents profit per bottle. So after selling 508 bottles, we would then break even. And if we were able to sell the remaining 492 bottles from our production run of 1,000, that would all be our profit, which then we can use to buy more materials for another production run and maybe buy more next time and be able to pay more people to produce so we can produce larger quantities of our product and be able to have a higher profit each time we produce more.
So, okay, I need everyone to show me your hand in there. Everyone. Okay. Who of you in the last hour was your hands? In the last hour, it's 6:50, so 5:50. Did you wash your hands? Whoever hasn't washed your hands, you need to keep your hands in there. Okay.
You did wash or didn't?
You didn't wash the hands in the last hour? That means you guys are in need of hand sanitizer. You know how many bacteria and viruses are in the surface? If you touch this, you are getting virus. You are risking your life. You are risking your health. So you need this one. This bottle is not just a hand sanitizer. This is safety. This is cleaning. This is everything. You need this just for $2. If you have this in your hand, you are safe. You are 99.9% safer than everyone else. In this bottle, we are just giving you cleanness. We are giving you good smell. You can help a friend. You can help your family. You are saving lives. So you need to get this product just for $2. Our hand sanitizer is called the ACCT. It means awesome, clean, and caring for your time. And also it's the name of this class because we are producing this fantastic product in this class. Thank you very much.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Tyler Silva.
I'm Lucas Putner.
I'm Christina.
I'm Niels.
And our project, as Dr. Woodward said, is about the broom. And Tina will start with the introduction.
We choose a broom because it's a cleaning supply that's often overlooked with the vacuum or even the mop being on the market. Not many people use the broom anymore, even though it has many advantages. One advantage is that it's more affordable, so like cheaper, and you also need to use less electricity when using it. So it's less time consuming for like small spaces. And I think that's it. And our mission while doing the project was to create a broom that's environmentally friendly, but still offers the best quality while being affordable. So one of our focuses was to make the broom as cheap as possible while also focusing on the environment and give something back to the community. Also, cleaning in general is just a very important aspect of everyone's life and can also improve one's health. It doesn't matter if it's like the living room, the whole house or the apartment or even the workspace. Everybody has like a better mindset or just more positive when the workspace is clean and can work more productive. While producing the broom, it was very important for us to be environmentally friendly, and that's why we used the recyclable plastic for the broom handle. And then we also used broom corn for the brush, and broom corn is a regenerative material, and we are getting it from Mexico. And then of our profit, we're donating $1.23 to a system governance project. This is a project that helps governments all over the world to invest in just like measures against the climate change. And therefore, we thought it was very important to help out in that way and donate some of our profits.
All right, then how the cost was derived. We have 4 different direct materials. So the first one is the recycled plastic for the broomstick, basically. And we were thinking about using wood in the first place, but then we decided to
or we want it to be environmental friendly as we can. So we actually researched a lot of recycled plastic companies who actually sell it. And we found a lot actually all over the world, but we decided to stay within the US. Yeah, just so we don't have as much cost with like supply chain, imports and all that stuff. So we decided to stay within the US. We found, for example, Vickers Enterprise, who sold 1 kilo of recycled plastic for 80 cents. So we went with those numbers. Then for the broom corn, for the brush, basically we use broom corn, just because it has very stiff stems. And when it's harvested and dried, it's perfect for brooms, and it was already used like 200 years ago. Then we found a plant in Mexico actually, because they have the perfect climate to grow broom corn. So we're actually going to import that from Mexico, and also 1 kilo of that is $24. So that's our main materials, and we also have metal wires just to keep everything together. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. And for 1 foot, we found that 1 foot, and I think we found it at Home Depot. We also looked at Walmart and other suppliers, but I think Home Depot was the cheapest. So 1 foot was 8 cents. Okay, so pretty cheap actually. And then for the packaging, we weren't sure. We thought we might not even use packaging. Then we decided to also use recycled materials, so recycled plastic bags. Just to keep it, again, as environmental friendly as possible. We just use them to basically cover the brush. Okay. And then small tools and equipment. It's basically or mainly cutting supplies to cut the broom corn, to cut the metal wires. We have all those listed in our paper. Okay, then the different production stages, obviously, are the broomstick production. Okay, with the recycled plastic we buy, we need to make that into the broomstick. Then the process of the broom corn bundles, we actually buy them as bundles already. So the process of that to make them into a proper brush. Then the drying process, which takes a little bit of time. The trimming process to make the brush even at the bottom. And then obviously the machine maintenance and the packaging. And that all adds up to 38 hours. So basically a full work week for one production run. And with $7.25 being the minimum wage, the total labor cost per production one would add up to $275.50.
So how did we end up at the unique selling price of $17.99? That's a good question. First of all, the unit costs, when we calculated, they were like 13.97, as you can see, and we chose to put on a 20% margin on top of it. So that would lead to $16.76. Now the question is, why is it $17.99 then? That's again a good question. We decided to put on like $1.23. So we want to show that we're really environmentally friendly and chose a charity, which is Earth System Governance Project. And for each broom you will buy, this will be sent to the charity organization to help our environment. And yeah, isn't that amazing? I know. Then also we did a break-even calculation, and it summed up to 25. So we need to sell 25 brooms in order to break even. Yeah. Then furthermore, we did also a calculation for our revenue. So our monthly revenue before tax would sum up to $14,392. That's before tax. How did we come up with that? It's like the monthly production multiplied with the selling price. Then we also calculated the total cost per month, which are, again, monthly production with the unit cost multiplied, which are 11,176. And that gives us our unique revenue of 3,216. That's before tax. Yeah, that's so far to the selling price.
All right, finally, why you guys should buy our product. Well, as most of you already said in your products, everything's about the environment, right? So we're also helping it. Recycle plastic, that's all used for the stick. The broom corn, which, as they said, is generated, it wouldn't affect the environment at all. Second, you can use the broom for indoor and outdoor. So, for example, if you need to clean something like a small space or a tight corner, sometimes the vacuum doesn't reach, you can just use the broom. Or if you're cleaning outside and you can't get the electricity, you can just clean with our broom as well. And as we just said, it doesn't rely on electricity. So if there is an apocalypse and you're in The Walking Dead and you need to clean around your area, you can use our broom. And it doesn't leave any scratch on the floor. That's a good point. I know a lot of families don't like to have everything clean, everything perfect. So it doesn't leave any scratches on the floor. And as Nils already said, our unbelievable price is $17.99. That's a steal, honestly. Walmart, every room is like $25, $30. That's the best price you're gonna find in the market. And also, I know there's a lot of lonely people here. I know most of the boys are. And I'm not judging what you do in your own time, but we have like a video that if it changes your mind and you want to buy a room, you can also use for that.
By the way, you guys may have seen me on my phone. I was not texting. When I do this, when y'all presenting, I'm looking at things about your project. And I looked up in rooms. I found the cost anywhere between $11 and $104. So
17 is
a
nothing.
great price, actually.
You know, but it really was. I think they could have charged $2 or $3 more on that. But just getting started, they want to get the room out there and all that. But, the Lowe's, Walmarts, and all that, 11 to 104. So, there's money in brooms. Good job. Game day gift baskets.
Yeah.
What you say to me that vacuum is like
Okay.
we're all fighting for your flats.
Hello, everybody. I'm Austin Parkinson. This is Don Nab. And our product is the game day gift basket. You can see up here. Quick rundown of some things that are in there. So we've got some various snacks. So cookies, goldfish crackers, orange soda in theme with University of Tennessee products. Your shakers take into the game with you, souvenir cups, and a reusable bucket that you can fill with ice and put other drinks in later or whatever you may want to do with it. So that's a rundown of our product here. So I grew up in East Tennessee, unlike most of you. So UT sports has been just all around me for my entire life. There was a time when Tennessee football was good. Basically, the area just shut down on Saturdays. Everybody was watching the game. Everybody was out tailgating. 100,000 people were filling the stadium. So what do you do? Anybody watch the Tennessee game this Saturday by chance?
Right, I see it.
Oh, okay.
Most of them.
Yeah, it was a good one this weekend. Yeah. So, a lot of times you go to a party, you go to a tailgate, watch the game, do different things. You want to take a gift, right? You don't want to show up empty-handed to somebody. You want to show that you appreciate the invite. So this is an option there. And the idea came to us. Let Don introduce how we got the idea.
So I have a very talented wife, and we would oftentimes be invited to a tailgate or to a party or something. And we didn't know. I mean, it was always like a day or two ahead of time. And like, well, what do they do? We're going to a Tennessee. Football is huge in East Tennessee, particularly in the Knoxville area, which is where we live. And so my wife she come up with these gift baskets that were awesome. her parents and her friends would often ask her, "Can you put one together for us?" And so she makes it look so effortless, but there's a lot of time that goes into producing these things, finding the materials, putting them together. I mean, and so the key is, I think, what we found in this project was that to do that, to do it well, to do it efficiently, you have to find good price points on the products that go into it. And Austin just went through some of those as well. So it really became something that my wife got good at before we had kids, and she no longer had time for some of those things. But it is extremely convenient. There's no apparel in here, so it's not a thing to worry about. Is it the right size, or is it the right, shape, or whatever this person might be? Shoes, hats, shirts, whatever it might be. And it does, in Knoxville, have broad appeal. You can get this. I don't care what your pronoun is. I don't care. So many things you can go on and think about. This is pretty much ubiquitous. It's pretty handy. It's also a seasonal and emotional thing. When Tennessee's doing well, I dare say it'd be hard to keep these things on the shelf. It's all about your production then. And it is practical, with the exception of the food that's in there, the bucket, the shakers, the cups that are in there. There's also some beads, just, the things. They can be used long after the game is done and the next season begins, or the next game of the next season is underway. So we view this as a part-time business. My wife kind of did it before, but she didn't charge anything for it. It operates pretty small, yet it is scalable. Again, the key is buying the ingredients, if you will, the components in bulk, getting good deals on those things. What we did find is that anything that is UT branded, or anything that's, Carson-Newman branded, whatever your affiliate is, they're going to charge a premium for those items. So we'll choose those wisely. Business to business bulk purchases are key. Non-perishable items. That way, if you buy 500 or 1,000, you can keep it in storage for a period of time and they won't go bad. And initially, we view this as not being something that we would customize, not having the labor force or the tools to necessarily customize this. Initially, we view this as being kind of a standard offering. Premiums come in when you can offer customized offerings. You can charge more for that too, but we're not there just yet.
So for our production runs, as Don said, this is a part-time thing, working from the home in the evenings, weekends, whatever. So looking at 24 baskets per production run, and looking at doing 2 runs per month, that'll give you plenty for, especially during football season right now. You're going to have a wave, 4 games a month. So that should be plenty initially to get us going. We do have time for purchasing. We considered going through and finding all this stuff. We said probably 2 hours per production run. And that'll include looking at taking inventory of our stock and doing things of that nature. That wasn't part of our spreadsheet there, so we didn't build that into our spreadsheet number. And then direct labor. So for assembly of the basket, it goes pretty quick. You get the materials once you've got them all in house, basically taking them, arranging them, and packaging is the big thing there. So about 6 hours or 6 baskets per hour for our production run. So getting into our price build up, as everybody's touched on, shopping around for best prices, right? So we found the majority of our things, Amazon and Sam's, we can get the best prices for like the food and some of the items we have in there, like koozies and things of that nature. Direct materials drive our cost. As you can see, basically everything's bought, pre-made. We're just doing an assembly. And so the direct materials are what's driving our cost. So the bucket itself being, as Don mentioned, a branded, officially licensed piece of merchandise costs $10.58, which is 19% of our total material cost, and then 17% of our overall product cost. Then the tumblers, we're going to have 2 of the Turvis tumblers out there. So those are $12.62 each. And as you can see, 46% of our material costs come from that alone, which is 42% of our overall product. Indirect materials. So labels were our indirect material. we are going to be printing our labels ourselves. So we put some money in there in our equipment for a laptop and a printer. We also have scissors, some tables and bins for storage and assembly areas. And then we also had a annual subscription for QuickBooks to do our accounting and keep up with our business expenses for our tax purposes and things of that nature accounted for in our tools and equipment. So we'll just be printing small labels with our name and info for the basket on there.
So as Austin said, production run is about 4 hours, 6 per hour, 24 baskets per production run. And again, overhead really is quite minimal. Tables, no power tools to speak of. The biggest thing really is our the computer to do our accounting, to produce labels, and to keep invoicing. So basically our accounting software. Again, our labor hours is fairly insignificant relative to the overall cost of the merchandise. And so we view distribution, sales, and marketing as being significant costs. We know that. We didn't build that into our cost model. It wasn't part of the presumption of the assignment. But I think when we come to the end here and we see what the price point of this package is, it kind of tells you that this is a very competitive business for us to be in and try to make money at it as well.
So as was mentioned earlier, the officially licensed stuff is what drives the price up. So we did differential analysis, kind of going through things, trying to determine what's going to be the best for us to build this basket and be able to sell, but also provide value to the customer that they'll want and be able to reuse going down the road. So you pay for the logo on all the stuff. So we considered doing just like a plain, like a woven basket or whatever, which you can get for significantly cheaper than the metal galvanized bucket that's got the Tennessee logo all over it. However, as we mentioned, if you're taking this to a tailgate or something of that nature, the person you give this to, they could reuse that, put ice in it, put chips in it, put whatever at your tailgate in it. You can reuse that bucket over and over at your tailgate as part of what they're going to have going forward. So we felt like even though it was a big swing on our cost, that we wanted to stick with the bucket since it is a branded product that we're putting out there. Also, B2B purchases versus B2C. So like for Tervis, for example, has a B2B website where you can go on, create an account, become a business and order straight from them. So there was some savings we could recognize there. We didn't use that in the cost because they had a price listed at $9.50 for those as opposed to $12, which as you can see is about a 25% reduction in cost. However, you had to have an account with them and go through and get quotes and all that to understand the quantities required to get that discounted price for the B2B rate. So we didn't use that now, but that's something we could explore moving forward to help reduce our costs on the product. And again, if production is scaled up, our purchasing power can increase and we can be able to buy in larger quantities and get better prices as we go through that. However, the downside of that, if you do scale up, you also have to consider the additional storage requirements it's going to take. So if you're buying hundreds at a time of the tumblers, where you're going to store those, if you're working out of a spare room or a garage or whatever in the house like we're doing for this right now. So
we also did do a cash flow analysis, again, not part of the assignment, but we know that if you tie more revenue up, more of your cash up in the storage of assets, so then you are just limiting cash flow as well. So our price point was $75 for this package. That's a profit margin of about 30.1%. Not real strong. And again, that price point, $75 at a 3% profit margin, does not afford for any of your environmental stuff. It doesn't afford for any sales and marketing distribution either. So it is pretty tight. The way we would go about doing that is really to, we have to do online services. We also recognize that if you went to large companies who tend to have boxes and favor the team that you're sponsoring, University of Tennessee or whoever it might be, Carson-Newman, then you're going to have to go through some of those select sales channels to really target who you're going to sell it to. And again, we've only got roughly 50 units to sell per month is what our target production rate was. But these are some of the things, again, as parents of kids who would forever be, sending your kids to school and the teacher has a birthday party or a Christmas party, or you're going to a tailgate, or you're having a neighborhood party. Someone graduated high school and they're going to the University of Tennessee, wherever the university might be. This is something, again, don't need to worry about size, don't need to worry about time. It's just something that's kind of like a fun thing to have, a lot of durable goods you can have and enjoy. And so for those reasons, we think that each of these would be great opportunities to take something that's fairly easy to pick out and make very convenient for packaging and delivery. Are there any questions?
I was in your pricing, so again, I looked up, so I found something similar, and it's ironic you said $75. I found the range of $54 to $75. The $75 one was called Game Time Gift Basket. Sells for $75. Unfortunately, they're out of stock, so that tells me enough. But it did not.
Now, is this for UT type stuff, or just any?
No, let me tell you what. It was just a plain basket.
Right.
Includes a little football platter, 2 football mugs, a chip bowl, 2 football dish towels, and 6 bags of snacks.
Right.
So,
in our market research, we saw the same sort of thing. You could get a car decal or a baseball cap and something like that, and that's all well and good. We really wanted to. We only have two can koozies here. And in the Turvis mugs in the bucket, that takes up over 50, almost 60% of the cost of the overall package, just the materials. So the rest of it we just kind of fill it in. And we also priced there's crinkle paper in there too, just to fill it up and kind of raise the price to the top. So all of those are built into the cost of that package.
But y'all price that right in the ballpark, and a remarkable product. For
yes. This in my country is super famous. Like the companies that do this, like they get a lot of money, and like they just don't do just like products. They also have like baskets of fruits or baskets of like candies, or like every single season they have something. It's a good business. I've never seen this in America, but like in my country, it's super famous.
Well, not at Carson-Newman, but we might put like bourbon in there or something else as well. So I mean, these are very common things.
Christmas is like all like the whole world, like
right.
Depends on wherever you go, but yeah, it's super famous. It's called Anche. Anche.
Great job. Everybody did a great job on the projects, and really appreciate it. I tell you, we've done a lot of research, a lot of time. Getting out early tonight. So I talked to all of you individually, and I talked to the gentleman as to leave. So I've enjoyed having you, Paul. And again, wish you all the luck and Godspeed in the future.
Hey, it's nice to be in the room and see everybody.
Yeah, I like that too.
Nice to meet you.